Jim and Terry Show coming to you from the Hobbit Hole Studio in Bob Cajun. I'm one of your hosts, Terry.
And I'm the other host, Jim.
We are the hosts with the most something. I'm slobbering.
Well, we were sleeping here. You didn't even have your mic and you got to start a recording. You had to run, grab it, come over and sit down. Well, we've been pretty tired today we had technical difficulties because our producer, what do we call her? Mitzi?
I don't
know. She's
Betty?
gone. That sounded... Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, we don't have her, but that's okay.
So here we are recording anyway with having overcome our technical difficulties, which I don't want to say anything ageist in particular, but as older guys struggling with technology.
Stupid and challenged.
Do we fit the stereotype of growing old? Here are a couple of guys with our coffee mugs having been consumed. The coffee was hot when you came this morning.
Yes, it was good, and I had nice... soft-boiled eggs to dip bread in, beautiful, healthy bread. It was delicious, thank you. And I was hungry, so it really hit the spot.
Yeah, sourdough bread seems to be easier on digestion.
Oh, good.
So
I should buy sourdough all the time then.
Well, I try to look for it. It's a little more expensive than the regular stuff, but...
I buy real expensive stuff, but I just really realized now it does taste like sawdust.
Oh,
I don't
awful.
It's some sort of a pumpernickel kind of.
Oh, I love pumpernickel.
Well, no, it's different. It tastes like sawdust. It really does. I was trying to like it because it just looked healthy.
I love malt bread, toasted, and melt butter on malt bread. It's a little circular loaf, and you slice it off. No? No, okay, look it up. Malt bread. Very tasty when toasted with melted butter. Topics for our gathering. I have to apologize. We did a whole bunch of, I thought were really...
Well, they were the best.
They were the best of,
especially that one when Gabriel sat in on it. It was wonderful.
Oh, we had guest speakers? We had
really spent a lot on those shows.
We had so many technical difficulties and we're still struggling. But let's move on to topics that are salient to today.
Salient?
Salient. That relevant with a, grain of... a cowlick of salt, maybe.
Oh.
Things that hyperbolic Jim might enjoy.
Who's that American politician that talks like this? And, well, that's like putting honey on a rock.
Oh, the one from Louisiana?
Yeah. Oh, man, he's weird. He's got
there's two or three of them. One is, I forget, that Chuck Grassley, and the other one, his name gets me every time. I know who you're talking about.
He's an older man.
Yep, but they're all older. Yeah. I mean, that's part of the problem with the
Senate. You can't catch a fox with a cow.
Well, let's put this one as our first topic. Is there a compulsory retirement age for senators? Should that be so in U.S., Canada? Are you too old to serve at some point?
I don't know, but the 14-year-olds would say you're too old at 40.
Or 20.
Actually, I think you really need more tests than here's a cow, a horse, and a donkey.
Ooh, a reference to Trump's cognitive test.
I think you need more than that.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, if you've got someone like the president, they're just going to change the rules anyways. What difference does it make?
I'm going to argue that there should be an age limit for all public offices.
What is that limit?
I don't want to say it should be the same as for all servants, all employees, 65 and you get your CPP and you're out.
But what if you're 65 in Canada, you don't have any limit to your term? What if you're in there for 16 years?
Well, sometimes I'm thinking that people are late bloomers and a politician who's 65 might actually be a good thing. And that younger politicians might not be the best.
Well, there's something to be said about wisdom.
Yeah, but you don't get wisdom automatically by virtue of being old.
No, but sometimes...
It depends on what kind of life experiences you've had, training experiences, workshops, who knows, company you keep, amount of booze you've consumed, coke you've snorted, whatever.
What are you saying? No.
I'm sort of had visions of Pete Hegseth jumping in my brain, I guess.
Yeah, okay, put a limit on it. I don't care.
Okay. So,
I'm at that point now where it's not going to be me. I'm not going to be running for anything.
I'm going to say 75 for the Senate.
For the Senate?
For the Senate, 75.
Do we need a Senate?
Well,
are you talking American or Canadian?
I thought I was speaking English, but I could be speaking Canadian.
I meant in our political system or theirs.
I am going to start with Canada, since that's where we are.
And get rid of the Senate. We don't need it.
Get rid of it. Well, somebody did say that. Preston Manning said that.
So did Trudeau.
I don't know. Did Trudeau
I thought he said he was going to eliminate the Senate.
I thought he said reform it. But
then there's a good start, reforming it.
Yes, why not?
Instead of just getting rid of it, reform it.
Okay, so what would a reformation of the Senate be in Canada?
I don't know. Maybe it'd have to be elected as opposed to appointed.
Good call.
And I don't want that for our judges. I'm just saying, but the Senate's a different story.
Okay, so Senate should be
and
elected.
a term maybe, perhaps. Like 8 years, and that's it.
Wow, okay. I said age limit. Maybe it should be term limit.
Well, term limit would be good because in case corruption came in, and of course no corruption ever gets in, but if all of a sudden people are just leaning to one party and it gets stacked, and now elections can be, we already have seen elections can be bought. So there's got to be a way to reform things where it can't be bought. And maybe you got X amount of airtime and X amount of money. Both candidates, that's how you got it. Use it wisely.
Okay, let's get rid of all the private grift that goes on when you run a pharmaceutical company and you make millions and donate it to a party, or maybe you hedge your bets and donate to both parties so that you own both candidates, no matter who gets in. Yeah. Get rid of all of that and cap the advertising and budget expenses of all candidates. You should not have, what do the Americans have, 4 years? They start planning for the next election the very day after the election was just run?
Yeah.
It's like 4 years in the making.
I'm exhausted with their whole system down there. But it seems to be a part of their life. They seem to really like this. It goes
in the midterm, then they have 2 years you get a slew of congressmen and senators up for renewal. I don't know. It seems like a never-ending story. So I would rather have our 36-day. I like that. It was quick. Boy, was it quick. There was one debate French, one debate English. People got a chance to do whatever they wanted and say whatever they wanted, and the people voted. Canada uses paper ballots.
Yeah, that was really cool, kind of.
It's great to me. Old school.
Well, it looked like it was a good way of doing it. And I'm sure when they take the ballot, they probably run it through a machine, right? No?
I think they have manual scrutineers, and you get a party representative from each of the parties, and they sit there, and you have to all agree that X was on this candidate. Everybody check, check, check. Okay. Then it goes on. So the scrutineers representing parties, overseeing a manual count. And so you actually have the physical ballot. I like that.
Question for you. Just because we're sitting here and I don't pay enough attention, I'm sort of wrapped up too much in the American world. It's a minority government, isn't it? Yes, by 800,000 or 8,000? I don't know.
I'm not sure what you're referring to in terms of the numbers. The number of seats is 169. The number of seats required for a majority, having restructured several ridings in Alberta and Saskatchewan. I thought there were 4 new ridings added.
I know what it was. It was 800 votes would have swung it to a majority or something. I don't know. Which means a certain person would have won or lost, and bang.
But this is true in all elections because we use first past the post.
Yeah.
And that's...
I know you don't like that.
No, I don't like the first past the post. I want electoral reform, which Trudeau did promise and did not deliver. So first past the post, get rid of it. Have ranked ballots where you get your first, second, third choice.
Why not?
So if the first person and the first choice of everybody doesn't win the majority, you go to the second place and add them onto the leading candidate until you get a clear majority.
Yeah.
If I didn't get in my case, one party didn't get elected, then the second choice, I also valued that choice because I put it at rank number 2.
Yeah.
So please, let us be represented by somebody. I would have put PC at the bottom of my list, and I would have had somebody else represent our riding.
Yeah.
So basic unfairness, you're right. Which takes us, I'm going to leap. No, I don't have time to leap.
What were you going to leap to? Because now there's supposed to be music clicking in.
There's supposed to be music playing, and I will get to there at some point. The Jim and Terry Show, we're signing off anyway.
And go to sleep.
Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.